Thank you. I rise today to express my opposition to the funding priorities in this appropriations bill. While I am supportive of advancing the appropriations bills in a timely manner, this bill underfunds many important programs and initiatives, including Tiger Grants, the lead-based paint hazard reduction program, housing assistance, and our rail and transportation initiative. In Connecticut, community leaders in Waterbury and Meriden have applied for Tiger Grants to undertake important improvement projects in their cities. Tiger Grants are critical for our communities to leverage federal funds to create lasting, substantial improvements. But unfortunately, this bill underfunds the Tiger Grant program. This bill funds Tiger Grants at $500 million less than last year and $1.15 billion less than the President's request. Tiger Grants are essential to provide that leverage for our state and local communities to make those choices about what will create jobs and allow those created jobs we have be something people can get to by using the highways. As my colleagues have already mentioned, the difficulty, particularly in the Northeast, with our aging infrastructure. Mr. Chairman, in addition to the Tiger provisions of the bill, some of the most important life-saving programs are the lead-based hazard reduction program. Approximately 23 million U.S. households have significant lead-based paint hazards. The lead-based paint hazard reduction program gives funds for lead abatement in low-income communities where the combination of lead paint and inadequate nutrition makes young children particularly vulnerable to learning disabilities. I'm disappointed that this bill funds that program at $40 million below last year and $50 million less than the President's budget request. With 23 million households still having significant exposure to lead-based paint, we must fully fund this program to protect our children and young families. In Connecticut, we are still recovering from the recession, and we have the 7th most expensive housing market in the country. In Danbury, an individual making the minimum wage, which is higher in Connecticut than the federal minimum wage, would need 3.5 full-time jobs to afford a 2-bedroom rental apartment. That is why HUD's public housing and housing choice vouchers are essential in my state and my community, and why it's so disappointing that HUD is not funded at a level to restore the housing vouchers that were lost during sequestration. Finally, Mr. Chairman, we need to get serious about investing in our highways and rail infrastructure. Just Friday, the railroad bridge in Norwalk, Connecticut failed, stranding thousands of passengers, including our colleague Congressman Jim Himes. The bridge, which was built in 1895, is now 118 years old and in desperate need of repair. Earlier today, the entire Connecticut delegation sent a letter to the Department of Transportation asking that the state receive funding to repair this very old and crumbling bridge. We should not have to wait until the bridge falls down or the train derails to repair our country's infrastructure. Unfortunately, this bill does not adequately fund the needs of the Federal Transit Administration. Until we do our job together in this body and fully fund the Department of Transportation, our bridges and roads will continue to fail. These are indeed tough budgetary times, but we must fund our transportation and housing programs to protect and to serve the constituents we represent. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentlelady yields back.